start. Good morning. Hit that thumbs up button if you're watching this later. If you're watching this later. If you're watching this now, live, hit the thumbs up button anyway. Morning. I got to turn off the sound. We're going to go live. We got the live chat going. I got the Friday recap. This is my YouTube channel. The link for TrendSpider is down below. That's the charting platform I use. So go and look at that. We'll be doing some pretty interesting stocks today. I've got Active Trader Pro over here. I'll be looking at that one. The one that I'm really looking at is a stock GNS. And maybe if the Wall Street Bets crowd really looks at this video, I'm not a huge fan of these types of things because they do run on momentum only. This is not a stock that is worth anything right now at the current levels, but momentum will take you to good places. And right now you closed at 209 and you're trading at 413. And so, again, you kind of have momentum. So do I think it will get to 5? Do I think it'll get to 10? 52-week high is $36. That was April 12th of last year. 52-week low was 30 cents. That was just, 17 days ago. So you've got an opportunity here for momentum trading. Only momentum trading. And so we'll kind of go over kind of what's going on there. And if we go back to Safari View and we kind of go over here to our favorite website. And by the way, this has been a GNS, not GNUS was a favorite before. This is GNS. This is a stock that has some naked short selling, and they hired an ex-FBI official. That's the only news on this. This company is not making money. This company has nothing. But year to date, just as of yesterday, is 532%. And you doubled that today because you're at $4.19. So do not, morning, James, do not, miss this one. Yahoo Financial is good, but look at this stock chart, James. This is the one I'm looking at, GNS. This one went crazy yesterday, and it's going crazy today. So yesterday, the 10-day volume is 29 million. Just in pre-market today, this is just pre-market. It's traded 28 million shares. That's a bit crazy. If we go over to Safari View, the shares floated 10 million. So you've got a lot of people holding. If we go over here and we type in GNS, this is the algorithm. And let's see. The algorithm still doesn't have you in, but the algorithm runs on 4-hour candles and a MACD cross up. I'm sorry. The algorithm got you in way back here, November 10th at 56 cents. That is crazy to think about if you bought this stock at 56 cents. There is no way I would suggest that you buy this one, but I cannot for the life of me probably, I'll take $100 and put it in here. It's got the momentum right now. And at 28, you know what? I want to put it in there. Hold on. We may have to go to Webull. I don't trade on a Friday, but I'm going to put $100 into this. It's got that much that much volume in the pre-market. Why is, and this is what's crazy, is it really, okay, hold on. Why can't I buy it in Webull? Did Webull stop trading this one? Or is this, okay, let's see. Buy. Cancel. I think I have to do that first. Okay. GNS. Can I really buy this at? Why can't I buy in Webull? I'll look at BBBY. Let's look at BBBY while I try and figure that one out. This is crazy because I want to buy. I wonder if I can buy GNS in my. Hold on. Let's see if I can buy it. I know my if I buy it in Fidelity, my guy is gonna call me up and he's going, "What the F are you doing?" Let's see. But it's got all the confirmation in the world. Let's see. GNS. Buy. Let's see. No. I'll put it for 3. Let's put it down at. God, it's crazy to think, but this is going to pump it open. I know it's going to pump it open. Put it at 350. Don't forget that decimal point. I think that may be too low, but let's see what happens. You're placing the share. Yeah. Done. Okay. Put in an order. We'll see if it happens. $3.50. I'll keep an eye on it. But let's look at BBBY. BBBY, and I'll go over this in the podcast too. Jose, if you're new, I record my podcast, but BBBY, I got in last week, I think at $2. I never hold through the weekend, so last Friday I sold it. Let's go to the. Sorry, I was on Active Trader Pro. BBBY, here we go. So this is a 4-hour candle. Last week, I kind of got in. Let's look at This is okay. Here is where I got in at around. I think it was around $2. Around might have been this morning, January 11th, the morning. I got in just high $2, somewhere around there. This is, I got out over here at around $4.20, $4.30. I did not buy it again. And the reason I did not buy it again, and the reason why I think the short squeeze might be done, is because of the volume levels. And look at the volume levels, how it's trailing off. Here's the MACD. The MACD is about to cross down. The RSI is at 56. It is coming down. You're just not seeing the pump up of activity. And so you're seeing it weighed down. Now, when we go over here, essentially the headlines are driving this. The headlines are driving. If I look at Active Trader Pro, oh boy, I think that one's coming down. Let's see. Let me see. Let's see. I need to look at. Hold on one second. This is what happens when I live trade. I'm gonna have to go get my laptop. I have to go get my laptop because I can't trade with you people. I can't show you my portfolio and stuff. But I'm going to go to Fidelity because I think the order may have been filled for GNS. But I want to keep an eye on it because I put it in at $3.50. Do I have to confirm this with two-factor authentication? No. Okay. Orders. There we go. Nope. It is not yet filled. Where is my? There we go. In fact, it's going up. GNS is going up. And I probably want to replace it, but let's see. GNS. It's still got confirmation here. Yeah, I'm going to put in it. I'm going to change this. Replace. And we're going to replace it with... rather than $3.50, I'm going to put it in at $4.20. $4.25. Preview order, attempt to replace. There we go. We're buying GNS. I feel like gambling on a Friday. Why not? So BBBY... sorry, I was on Active Trader Pro. GNS, I just put in an order for $4.25, and I think it's probably going to hit here. It's still open. Hasn't been filled. I couldn't trade it on Webull for some reason. That's where I wanted to trade it. But also, I don't want to get pattern day trading. PDT is what it's called. I am down on SQQQ, by the way. SQQQ is going to be way down because Google's up 3%. I probably should do that, but I got a good podcast. Netflix, I'll talk about. Would you sell Netflix at open or keep holding? I may just keep holding. I don't think it's going to go down anytime soon. I'll talk about Netflix. Google is one that I'm going to go over as well. Google, you should have bought in the 80s, kind of like I said. I just don't know that it's necessarily going to be up. Oh, by the way, I filled at $4.25, and all of a sudden, again, it's down to $4. Yeah. That's one I may lose money on. I am not holding that one over the weekend, but GNS, and it's getting trashed. This is pure gambling. But with that volume up at that level, I think a lot of people are taking their money and running. But I think there's a lot of people like me who are just pouring into it as well. So, which I am going to put in an order to sell this at, let's see, positions. We're going to take this and we're going to sell this sell. Yeah, I think it's 100 shares. And we're going to sell at let's say $7. I'm putting that in just in case it pops on open. Preview order. Let's edit it. I think I'm going to place it. Limit price. I'm going to say, I bought it 420. I'm going to say sell at 550. This is while I'm doing the podcast. I'm going to see if this works. Let's see. Okay. Activity and orders. Orders, sell 100 shares at 550. Okay. I bought 425, sell at 550. January 27th calls them Best Buy. Bed Bath & Beyond. Bed Bath & Beyond, my opinion, the short squeeze is over. I mean, I'll go over it on the recap. I think it's over. I also think that the market is in for a little bit of hurt. But, oh God, and this GNS is just crashing. It's not a big position for me, so. By the way, if you have not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button down there. I am going to go through my podcast, but what I first have to do is go through my scans and notify everybody that I've got 2 new watch lists. So that makes a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the daily stock picks within TrendSpider here. I've got daily stock picks, the core investment group. I've got daily stocks pick energy names to trade/own. Which I have to add one. Hold on, I'm going to add one. CHRD. I don't think I added that one, but I know Tom put that one in. And I'm going to add it to energy names. Okay. So I've got the energy. I've got levered ETFs. I've got low-cost Vanguard ETFs and spider sectors. So if you're signed up for TrendSpider, if you're a TrendSpider subscriber, just hit me up. Just send me a message or go into the private Facebook group and look at just the posts in the Facebook group. I posted them last night. I'll be adding to those, and I constantly update these ones, the core group, the energy names to own, the levered ETFs. If you have any suggestions on ones that may not be there, but you want to add them, just let me know as well. I'll research them. The levered ETFs are typical ones: DRV, DRN, TQQQ, SQQQ, UPRO, SPXU, SPXL, SARK, SDS, UVIXI, SVIXI, SDOW, SMDD, SRTY, UDOW, UMDD, and URTY. And if I went too fast for you, just pay for TrendSpider. The link's down below. Use the code DSP, Daily Stock Picks 25, DSP 25, to get 25% off your subscription, but the link is down below. So I'm going to be using these as scans. So when you sign up for TrendSpider, I'll give you my algorithm. I will also give you my scan, and I will give you access to all of these lists. So I've got my personal brokerage portfolio that I usually scan with first, and we're on our way back up with GNS, by the way. God, and I got to tell you guys, I do trades anywhere from $50 all the way up to like, I think my biggest trade has been like $50,000, $60,000 in one trade. And the stress that you have at 50 is equivalent to the stress that you have at 50,000. Now, the 50,000, 60,000, whatever, those thousands of dollars in trades that you do, those are long-term. So you tend not to look at, and you don't do them all in one chunk. You break them up, but when it starts going down, while you buy more, you do kind of freak out. It's the same kind of thing. All I want to do is watch that stock chart. Core investments. Let's look at some scans. The rules for people that may just be tuning in is we don't buy on Fridays. So I just broke the rule because I bought GNS. But Tom's post was funny. It's a great, CHRD, you can't argue about it here. We can look at it. The dividend, I think it was special dividend, 3.53. You're up 3% year to date. 1 year, you're up 25%. You are 13% below your 52-week high. You're 54% above your 52-week low. You can read some of these articles. Initiated Mizuho. Initiated on January 10th with a 196 price target. Take a look at that chart. That's a good chart to buy into. And it has, right here at about 120 was a good time to buy. January 9th. It was clear it crossed up. I just didn't have the damn list set up. We've got it set up now, so we'll take a look at that one. In fact, if you want me to here, while I'm on it, I will show you the algorithm. The algorithm in TrendSpider said buy in at 129. You're at 141. The last one that you got was a buy here at 136 on December 14th. It got you out with a 5% loss. But if you're in at 136, you're not upset at 141. So the goal is to, at some point buy when you're down here and sell when you're above the 200. Like this one, 135 on September 29th. It went all the way up to 162. This one got you out at 140. Well, you see the button hook. You're selling right there. Visa or Visa? Let me see if what? W-I-S-A. Oh, Visa. There is a Visa. I thought you were like my friends from India who can't say the V. Visa. And wanted me to look at Visa. Let's see. Visa's got a gap. I can tell you right now, this ain't making money. This is one of these momentum trades. And I will yell at you for trading in something like this, but I just bought GSN. And we're back to the price where I paid for GSN. So, yeah. Visa, this is going to be a momentum trade. Demonstrates wireless Dolby Atmos sound system powered by Visa DS technology. It's not making money. Price to sales 1.98, so it's not hugely expensive. Year to date, it's up 14%. I can't imagine that this one continues its listing. We can look at Active Trader Pro. Let me switch over to Active Trader Pro. And Visa has some pump today. And it's probably because it failed to meet NASDAQ continued requirements. So I would be careful. I can't imagine that it pumps up. It's a micro cap, and over 10 days, it's traded 30 million shares. Over 90 days, 10 million shares. Just today, 69 million. So this is a momentum trade. But, you can do that one. You can do GNS, which I have a sale on at $5. I think I put it in there. $5.50, somewhere in that neighborhood. It's up at $4.30. I'm positive on it. It's a small trade. I think 100 shares. It wasn't very big. Because you could easily go back down. But I just, honest to God, here's where you're trading with this one. You're trading momentum, and it's 100% momentum that you're trading, and you don't get greedy. If it goes up to $5, I am taking that $100 gain, and I am perfectly happy with it. I am losing my SQQQ, which I bought at, $48.20, I think, yesterday. And what are you? Yeah, you're at $48. So I bought it at $48.20. It's at $48 right now. It's not hugely down. I mean, NASDAQ's going to be up a little bit. I can't imagine the NASDAQ soars, although Google is and Netflix are going. But let me get back to my scans. Market scanner. We did the core investments. Let's look at our energy names. I'm going to go back here to Safari. And let's look at our energy names. PXD crossed up. We have a cross up on PSD. Is it secondary cross up? I think it is. We have PXD. PXD is one, I don't care. You can buy this one on a Friday because you know what? You ain't going bankrupt on this one because you've got this gap. You're just coming up to that 200-day at 238. I think you could cover this gap. Your earnings are coming up here on February 15th. That's the next catalyst. The RSI is a little bit high at 59. The MACD's kind of crossing up, but I don't think it's a horrible one. That's our energy play. Let's look at our levered ETFs. These don't trade well. This is interesting. SQQQ came up as a buy. I'm going to put that one in too. I told you the button hook was happening, and that's why I bought it at $48.20. It's trading at 48. It closed at 48.85. It's trading at 48. So it's below. But it's got that MACD cross up down here below the oscillator. The RSI was at 40. So I think you've got a pretty good opportunity there. Let's look at our low-cost Vanguard ETFs. Nothing in there. Nothing crossed up. Let's look at our spider sectors to see if any spider sectors. Nope. No spider sectors crossed up. And we will go down to our ARC holdings. And I am scheduled to do a Coke is great. Coke is great to do. If you don't want to hold on to Coke, you can just buy it in the 50s. And I think you can just hold it. Just keep buying it in the 50s. And just hold it because it's going to be up there at 60s. ALLT. I don't even know what this one is. A lot. Ooh, look at that ascending triangle, the wedge. And you're breaking out of it. Ooh, that's an interesting one. In the algorithm, I don't like this one to trade on a Friday, so I'm not going to bring it up on the podcast. Because if you guys didn't know, there's 16 people in here, but the podcast has thousands of listeners, and I don't like to lead them. I will trade with you guys all day long on here on YouTube Live and identify what I do versus what I don't do. But with the podcast being kind of a recorded, people listening in their cars and things of that sort, I just don't like to lead them down astray because I can show you guys charts, but I can't do that on the podcast. I tell people to look at it, but they just don't come over here to look. They do listen to some guy on the internet. But that at 292 and you're at 362, that's a great one. We're at 445 on GNS. So I've made my 10%, by the way. I'll look at hold on. I got to add all these in. You guys are scrolling too much. I'll look at BTS. GWW and Walmart's one you want to hold. I told you about Walmart yesterday, James. I'll put in the podcast, GWW. I don't know about GWW. I'll definitely put in Walmart and show it to you. And BTG, let me look at what is BTG? Is this one of these retail traders one? Oh, it's a gold. B2 Gold Corp. Wow, you've had your run in this one. But gold is, I mean, okay. Dylan, here's B2G. I don't know too much about this one. I honestly, let's see. BTG. Its PE is 18. Forward PE is 12. It doesn't pay a dividend. Year to date, it's up 15%. 1 year, it's up 15%. Half a year, it's up 20%. Your 52-week high is $5.07. Your 52-week low is $2.81. So you're 46% above your 52-week low, 18% below the 52-week high. Here's what I see in this one. See that gap at 375, 370? You're coming back down there at some point. Right now, your MACD, and if you don't know what a MACD does, I'd suggest look it up over the weekend. Understand the MACD. Go to Investopedia.com. But that MACD crossed down, and it looks like it's using that as a support kind of level. But the RSI at 63 tells me it's just overbought. It's got to come down at some point. But you're trading, you've got confirmation above this 9-day. If you're in this one, I would put probably a stop at $4.06, $4.07, just to protect because it's a Friday. Again, if you're in this one, I would put that one. If you're looking to get into this one, I can't. It's just too overbought right now, and I think that gap down there brings it down to 370. I don't think it does it overnight, but I think you're going to see this one come down a little bit. It's way too above this 200-day. If you guys look, I talk about golden crosses and death crosses. Right here, November 23rd, golden cross, the 50-day started moving up. Look at this. In gold, the 200-day is now positive. We haven't seen a positive 200-day in anything for the last year, other than energy stocks. This is a gold corporation. It's got money. I don't think it's a bad one. I think you're okay on BTG. What scares me about, I don't think you have a problem holding this one. Again, if you're in at $3.50, if you're in at $4, I don't think you have a bad thing on this one. What worries me about this candle, even though it's a green candle yesterday morning, the period is 2.99%. So your open was at $4.02. Your high was $4.15. Your close was $4.14. Your low was $3.95. So you broke that $4 mark, but you held it almost the entire day. Now, in the afternoon, your period was only negative 0.24. You opened at 4.14. You closed at 4.13. It didn't move. And if you look at that afternoon volume candle right there, it's super, super low. The good news is your volume's still trending higher. The bad news is it's just super high up there. I don't know that it's necessarily going to come down. It might put in a shelf. This gap back here that is below the 200-day, so it doesn't have a ton of magnetism, but you covered that gap at 4.14. And that's back 6 months ago. If we take a look at this one from a while ago, let's pull this. Where is my volume? There it is. We're going to pull this to the highs. And it's a little far back because it's April. But if you look, you're right in this volume shelf right there. I think if you break that volume shelf down there below $4, I think you're coming down here to cover that gap, and it's $3.60. That's my take on it. BTG. Walmart's a good one, James. I hold Walmart. We're back down to where I bought GNS at $4.25. I mean, that one's moving. That one is just moving. Okay, ARC Holdings we've done. I'm not bringing up any ARC Holdings. We're going to go to the Dow 30. Anything on the Dow 30? Nope. Nothing on the Dow 30. Let's go to the NASDAQ 100. Nope, nothing. Let's go to the S&P 100. I may start scanning the Russell. Those are small and medium caps. I may start doing that, but I typically haven't traded those, so I'm not. I always say this: become an expert in stuff. Don't trade outside of your expertise. It's hard. ENCPW. What the hell is this? Boy, that's an energy company, and that chart is ugly. I'm not trading that one. So there's two, PXD and SQQQ. We'll go back to the strategy tester. Okay. 90 cents. This one, that's not worth trading. Let me look. January 27th calls on BBBY. If you're here, hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed. Did I give you WISA? Brandon, I don't know that I'd necessarily look at WISA as GWW. It just got you out, James, with a loss. But I don't think, the gap down there to 538, if you want to time it, at some point I think it gets to that 538. But at 547, if I'm looking to get into this one, am I crazy for holding it? No. This is a good company, GWW. Hey, and I'm proud of you, man. GWW PE is 19, so it's a little bit expensive. Dividend is 1.26. You're 10% off your 52-week high of 612. Your 52-week low is 440. This one doesn't move much. The beta is 1.21. Year to date, you're down 1.53. I don't think there's anything crazy. You've got November downgrade, but it's a $630 price target. Again, a $630 price target. April, they downgraded it and thought it was a $480 price target. Morgan Stanley. Did it ever go down there? Yeah, it did kind of go down there. I don't think you're in danger of this one per se, holding it. It's a good company. Beat estimates on its next earnings report, ? When are the earnings? The next earnings are coming up. Your catalyst is February 1st. Here's the danger. February 1st, you have a Fed meeting. February 1st, you have a lot of tech stuff. You got a lot of stuff here that is kind of gonna move the stock. So do you want to hold on to that one or do you want to dump it? I don't think it's super high. We'll bring it back here. Let's look at the recent volume shelves. You just don't have a volume shelf where you're trading at. Let me bring it here since it's going lower. 523 is a volume shelf. There's a lot of people holding down there. You're kind of in no man's land from a volume perspective, and the gap here is in no man's land. The 50-day is about to cross. It may cross the 200-day. That's where you'd really be in danger. But I think this is one where, you know what? I'm probably not looking at this one as a day trade, so I probably like the company. This is, this could be some people's Apple. Put it that way. I don't believe in it like Apple, but this could be someone's Apple. So I think there's that one. GNS at $4.70. Let me see. I may up my sale on this one. I'm at $5.50. I'm going to replace this. I'm going to say $6. Let's see. Maybe I'm going to say $6. It's replaced. Amazon's great. Here's what you have to worry about Amazon, James. Amazon is a fantastic, fantastic company. Andy Jassy, he got handed a shit bag. And I think Bezos knew he handed him a shit bag. They ran through the pandemic. I think I read yesterday that they have 100,000 employees in corporate. So you've got all of these different silos, and they don't talk to each other. And the problem that you have in Amazon is it just got too big too quick. And so Andy Jassy is kind of charged with, Bezos is the one that grew it. Bezos didn't know what was going on left or right. I mean, he got lucky. Pandemic hits, he hires a shit ton of people, starts, seeing it pour up, and hands the reins over to Jassy. Well, new management comes in, probably didn't have a great eye on absolutely everything. He came from Amazon Web Services, and I don't want to say screwed everything up, but he didn't have his eye on the ball when it came to, hey, the pandemic's over and we're not delivering as much. We're not doing as much. We're losing money here. We're losing money there. I've got to pour more money into streaming because we want that service. I got to pay more for the NFL, blah, blah, blah. So he kind of had a lot of, plates in the air to juggle if you're thinking of the clown reference. The rumor is that Bezos might come back. If Bezos comes back, and it's even hinted. I mean, I think that's why you're seeing this run up, by the way, from 83 to 93. If he comes back, I think the stock pops. But it's similar to Howard Schultz coming back in Starbucks. Starbucks is a great company. I can tell you, my dad sold it at 70 right before. I think it was back here in July. We sold it around, probably 80 or something. It's at 104. Howard Schultz came back. I think it was somewhere in this neighborhood where it just pumped up. And they're doing things right. And now Howard Schultz is getting replaced again. So, he's Bezos was now he's a caricature of himself. So I'm not a big fan of Bezos. I think he took a risk and it paid off, but there's for everyone, and he's touted as this great businessman. Well, no, for every Jeff Bezos that took big risks, there's 100 others that went bankrupt. So, he, Elon, and other folks that take big risks, they're touted as geniuses because they took those big risks. Well, there's other people that took big risks too, and they just didn't pan out for them. So it's not the decisions that these guys made. It was the good thing about good entrepreneurs and people that make it, like Reed Hastings from Netflix and all these guys, even Peter Thiel, who a lot of people vilify because he gives a lot to conservative causes and stuff like that. But you look at his incubator and you look at the people that he identifies. The good people identify other good people, and they hold on to them and they push them, and they're true leaders. Bezos did that, and Bezos was good. I just don't think that Bezos is what he once was. I think his head got filled with, I am Jeff Bezos. And I think Elon, similar. Elon, with Twitter, his head got filled with, I am Elon. It's just my take on it, and I could be completely wrong. But okay, we did our scans. We're in our I've got the it's funny. I've got the levered ETFs list up in TrendSpider. And if you're in TrendSpider, it's fun. If you're subscribed to TrendSpider, go into TrendSpider and pull up the levered ETF list. If you guys want me to share it, I'll share it right here, actually. We'll share this levered ETFs. I'll share it in the chat window. There it is. I think you have to be subscribed to TrendSpider. And if you're not subscribed to TrendSpider and you want to subscribe to TrendSpider, this is TrendSpider. It is a fantastic charting program. Wozniak was the brains behind the hardware. Wozniak's still a genius. I mean, Jobs was a genius as far as product goes, and he knew who to hire and who to create his vision of products. Similar to Elon. Elon's a great product guy. You can't tell me Peter Thiel was a guy who designed PayPal and to look at the long term as to what PayPal did. But Wozniak is great. He also, shit. He didn't make things beautiful, but he made things work. But if you look at that list, it's interesting to see what's taking off. TQQQ is up 1.54% in the pre-market. And by the way, GNS is about to hit $5. I'm up a cool 20%, I think. I bought at $4.25. So I am up, almost 80 cents on a $4 stock. And it's traded 41 million shares. Here, I'm going to go over to... I got to do this. I've got to. Hold on. Who's texting me? Get rid of that. Get rid of that. I don't have. Okay, I just have two. There we go. We are above $5. Guys, don't trade on Friday. God, I should have put 50 grand into this one. Seriously, here's the thing. The Bollinger Bands are syncing up. And we're outside the top of the Bollinger Bands. And see how they cinched up? We're off for the run. I'm in at 450, 425. Who else is in? Anybody following the guy on the internet making money? Because I did it in my Fidelity thing too, so I can actually trade it here. I've got a sell in for $6. $6. Yeah. It's doubled in pre-market. I looked at this last night. I don't know, James, I don't know. Or, yeah, Cooper. High five, man. High five. I don't know who messaged me about it in the private Facebook group. Let me go and look. But GNS is up. It's doubled. And when it gets to $6, it's tripled overnight. And it's over nothing other than short sellers. That's all it is. It's just momentum. And when you see a stock that's got 43 million shares traded in pre-market, whereas the last 10 days is 29 million, and you see this. So here's what I saw. I saw this volume going down. And so when I bought it, the $4.20, I think it was right here. It must have been, let me see, when was it? I don't see a time on it. But I only bought 100 shares. I didn't buy a lot. But, I mean, shit. If that gets to $6, what's that? The 425 turns into like $600. So, I'll take $175. I'll buy myself a nice acai bowl for lunch. Chase, high five, man. We're waiting for 6. And by the way, there is no scientific way that anybody can tell you that this would happen. When these things cinched up here at 7, at $3.20 at 7 o'clock this morning, there is no way anybody could have told you, well, it's going up. It's up above the Bollinger Bands, so it's likely. But, you've had all of this confirmation. This big candle right here, where it went all the way down to $3.32. I think that's an error. Hold on, let me renew this. Because sometimes what happens is we broke 48 on SQQQ, by the way, because you're running. I don't think that candle was real. Yeah, it was real. Son of a bitch. It was real. Oh, come on. Come on back over there. There we go. So this was real. It went all the way down to 332 in that 5-minute candle right there. But see how the volume's picking up? And see how you're outside the Bollinger Bands right now at 530? Okay, anybody who's in this, Cooper, Chase, anybody else, if you're in this one, what's your sale price? Mine is 6, and I've got it in there. Doesn't mean I can't buy in again if I see it, continuing. But a tripling from the and over nothing. There's no news. There's nothing. They hired an FBI agent. Let's see, Market Watch. I just went to FinViz, by the way, and pulled up this article. Genius rallied another 52%, extending its prior for stock. I want to see what this is. The stock rose a record 290% on Thursday in heavy volume, 7.2 shares in pre-market Friday. As of this story at 6:53, it was 7.2 million shares. You're at 45 million shares trading hands right now. So, mind you, that is a huge increase. The company said Timothy Murphy, a former deputy director of FBI, will lead a task force investigating naked short selling of its stock that has depressed the price. The company is also issuing a special dividend to shareholders to help expose the wrongdoing. Ooh. Hey, what's up? They're not making money. This is all. Do not think that this is anything other than pump. 100% pump. That's all this is. Just 100% pump. They're not making revenue. 12.78 million. It's not billion. 12.8. I mean, cash flow. They have no cash. Net income minus, and this is minus $3.19. Balance sheet. Let's look at the balance sheet. So here we have just 2021. Yeah, there's nothing here. Nothing. I don't know why that's coming up. There we go. That's out. We're at 516. We went all the way up to what? 540? 545. You could be back down to 420. I mean, it's got to come back down here in the Bollinger Bands. It's still above the Bollinger Bands, even at $5.12. I mean, it's got to come back down to the 9-day, but you got all the confirmation in the world. Right now, I probably should set my stop loss at $4.74. Let's see, positions. Set exit plan. GNS. It's in Trade Armor. I don't know how to use Trade Armor. See, I need to relearn how to use Trade Armor. Get out of here. Sell. I gotta set that stop loss. It's back up. Mike, douche. Mike, go home. Go home, Mike. Take the vape away from Mike. Put the shirt back on, Mike. Because you're showing your bitch titties. Sorry. I have to show my alpha. My dominance. It's funny. Fidelity is kind of, the boomer of Fidelity. And by the way, Mike, it could be coming back down to 5 based on the current candles. So, I don't think there's any problem in selling at 5 because I'm kind of nervous about the current candle. Yeah, it's moving down to 5. You got 10 minutes till open. And the candle just turned green. We're going back up. I was going to say Fidelity is funny because guys like me are boomers, and we're on the website, and the website just is not set up. Right now, GNS is showing me a loss because it thinks my 100 shares are worth $209. Current candle's a little worrisome in that it's come back. It's not super worrisome, but it's come back down into the Bollinger Bands. And those Bollinger Bands, take a look. I mean, here's the first break. It expands. And then here's the second one. It expands. Over here, if you look, as long as you stay above that 9-day, you should be okay. And the 9-day right now is at $4.82. So, but I kind of sense that this one's just going to pop on, or I'm sorry, I wasn't even showing you guys this. Here's the current chart. And see, the volume level here is at $4.10 to $4.29. I'm in that volume level right there. This is where most people are holding, and this is what's bringing it down is because some of these people, like Mike, are selling. Because it's a good profit. I mean, 20% in 10 minutes I made? That's fantastic. And if you can find a stock like this that is trading 48 million shares when it normally trades 3 million shares, and it's a micro cap, yes, it can. Cooper. So if I go in here into Safari and we're going to GSN. GNS. Yeah. We'll go into GNS in TrendSpider and we will go to let's go to a 2-minute chart. And then you hit the wheel up in the upper left for settings. You go to data and display after hours, and boom, you've got a 2-minute candle, which puts you kind of in that button hook area that I always talk about. and see that how the MACD's kind of crossing down and the RSI's at 66 and the volume level's moving down. But I think the volume level moves back up to these levels when you get to the open. And so let's move to a 5-minute candle, because the 2-minute candle will tell you and see how the button hook is happening here in the 2-minute candle. We're down a Mike, high five, man. $5 was it. But here's this is, you can use TrendSpider for day trading stuff. I mean, it's not unheard of. I just like Active Trader Pro more. And when I look at Active Trader Pro, I can see movements better in short-term time frames than TrendSpider. And it's probably got to do with something with an actual program versus a web-based browser. But either one, I mean, you can see they're both kind of set up the same way, showing the same thing. Mike, you damn paper hands. Fucking vapor. Candle worries me. I think remember how I said, hey, at that 482 level, kind of worries me a little bit, but we got a new candle. It's a healthy. None of this is it. Let me redo my words. None of this is fucking healthy. None of this is healthy. But I do think you see we're 5 minutes away from the opening. And at 49 million, if you wanted to get in on at this at 483, I think you'd be okay. But again, rule number 1, never listen to a guy on the internet. Rule number 2, never listen to Jim Cramer. But that 9-day is kind of, I think that 9-day, in my trading experience, the 9-day is kind of the pivot. And when you break under that 9-day, it's time to probably move on. Doesn't always mean that, but you can see how it's kind of treated that 9-day as its support level. And right here at 480, it's kind of breaking it down a little bit. You know, it's touching the 9-day. I'm in at 425 for anybody. Let's check WISA for you. Oh, I was watching Active Trader Pro. You're 473. You broke the 9-day. So Mike now looks like the genius. WISA's got. See, I mean, look at this chart versus the GNS chart. And that's kind of what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that at market open, GNS gets that volume pop. And I've got an order in at 6. So, but that WISA chart doesn't look anything like this GNS chart. The Bollinger Bands are cinching up a little bit again. If we get one of these again, I mean, this is the last candle before open. I would not be shocked if this one gets to $6 at open. You're at 50 million shares traded. Mike, you're smart, man, not a wuss. The rest of us are going to be sitting here holding a bag at $3.50, Mike. You're the one who got out with a profit at $5. Yeah, so I do, like I said, 483 I think is providing a pretty good support level right now. And when I say a support level, I do not mean to hold over the weekend at 483. I mean to hold for the next 20 minutes at 483. I'm in at 425. I think other folks are in at 417 and 420, 430, somewhere around there. But if should anyone, and James, don't sell Netflix at 335. I mean, you should have identified it as a trade or a hold. But Netflix, in my mind, I think you've got, I'll talk about it more. Password sharing, they're really going to crack down on it. And that's going to increase their revenue. They're still the king Mac Daddy of streaming. I don't think you have any problem holding Netflix, to be honest with you. At $335, I think that's a $400 stock at some point this year. I really, really do. It's had its run. It's kind of like Boeing and stuff like that. I posted something. I actually agree with Jim Cramer from last night. Mike, you look like a douche again. Just so you know, it's 5'4". Maybe Mike bought back in. Maybe Mike showed his bitch titties and bought back in at 483. See, and that's the thing. At 483, Mike could have bought back in, and he's up at 5 again. So this green candle's a good one going into open because you have some momentum with that upper Bollinger Bands expanding into open. Here we go. We're almost at. We got 2 seconds. Boom. Let's see what happens. See if we crash. Yeah. I don't see an enormous volume spike. My expectation was a big spike, but I'm not seeing it. Day range 471 to 517. You're losing it. It's at 485. Ask at 504. I think it halted. This one's going to halt probably several times today. $476. There's some big spreads here between bid and ask. Big spreads between bid and ask. And 483 is providing that support level right now, I think. Again on this candle. You're taking off. The volume levels are kind of increasing. It's a red, so more people are selling than buying. Your RSI is at 63. Your MACD is kind of, I got to do my podcast. I'm telling you, man, I have this feeling all the time. And by the way, remember, you could have bought in back in at 483, sold at 520, and you know, you're back at 483 again. The bid and the ask is rather large. That's the only thing that worries me about this one is the bid and the ask are huge differences. And it's moving in super small increments. People are selling 1 and 2 stocks, shares, I should say. I'm going to change my sale to 520, I think. Orders, because I do think that we'll hit 520. Replace. Okay. We lost the confirmation. Now we got the 21 day as the support level here. at 450. Yeah, I think I hit my stop loss too. And it's going to take quite a bit to replace. I think I just hit my, yeah. So I sold at 490. I sold below you, Mike. But I'm going to get back in. I'm going to get back in. I'm going to put in an order. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to do my podcast. I don't need this stress. I don't need this stress. I'll trade later. I think I will have an opportunity to trade that one later. Let's look at BBBY since somebody asked me about that one. I think this one's crashing. Yes, it is. It's down 5%. SQQQ is down right under where I bought it. Let me see my indices. Why did this? That went to a different, I don't know why that is. By the way, if you haven't hit the thumbs up button, hit the thumbs up button. BBBY is the 11th hour. I've kind of gone over this. I believe that the reports of them starting to sell their business has created the assumption that the shorts, the longs have held out. So I don't think it's in a short squeeze anymore. So, but I'm going to start recording my podcast now. And let's get back in. We'll look at TQQQ. Again, TQQQ under 20. We did get a MACD cross up on SQQQ. At 48.84, I bought in at 48.20. It's at 48.30 right now. So let me record the podcast. Good morning. It is Friday, January 20th, and we were on YouTube trading a stock called GNUS. And GNS, not GNUS. Genius is one that I've traded before in retail trading, but GNS is one that is up like 580% for just the past couple of days. It is nothing more than a momentum trade. I got in at $4.25. I think I got out at about $4.80. Made fun of some folks on YouTube who got out at $5 and said YOLO. But doing the podcast, I just didn't want to sit here and worry about a trade. It was only 100 shares, so I made like $60, $70. It was a good trade. I'll take it. But it's not something that I'm looking to hold on to at any point in time for a good amount. If you don't know, TrendSpider, it is 25% off with the code DSP25 for daily stock picks 25. The link is down below. I set up 2 additional watch lists last night, energy and levered ETFs. If you are subscribed to this podcast or you listen on YouTube, either way, and you are subscribed to TrendSpider, just look in the private Facebook group. I posted them in there. I believe I posted them on Twitter as well. I did post them in the YouTube chat. If you need them, just let me know. I'll share them with you. But again, that makes 5 watch lists that we have right now. Core investments. We have the energy names to trade and own. We have levered ETFs. We have low-cost Vanguard ETFs. And then we have the spider sectors. So essentially, if you ever want to scan in the algorithm, because if you do subscribe to TrendSpider, I will give you my algorithm. I will give you access to these watch lists. I will also give you my scan. So the custom scan that I do, it's what I use to do on the podcast every day. So if you're subscribed, just let me know. But today is Friday. So what do we do on a Friday? We recap. I'll kind of go over some of the news stories too, but Stephanie Link last night, she tweeted out some incredible observations, and I thought this was interesting. Simple observations: gas prices down 15.76% from the June highs. Mortgage rates down 13% since the October highs. Retail sales are 32% from December 2019. FX down 9%. There are negative trends in the manufacturing and housing indexes, but not all of it's doom and gloom. Retail is 70% of GDP. So essentially what she's talking about is Costco. Costco, Macy's, some of the retail plays that we play on this one. Costco is one that I've said I'm not currently in, and I've been waiting for this gap down here. There's a bigger gap, I think, back here somewhere, but I should have gotten in at 450. If it hits 450 again, I'm buying in. This is a $500 stock. Their earnings are coming up on March 2nd. They announced their December traffic was high. That's where you saw that gap kind of come into play. It covered the gap from before on the way down at 476 to 480, and now it's on its way back down. Your next catalyst is the ex-dividend date on February 2nd. It doesn't have a huge dividend. What is it? 0.77%. It's not huge. The PE is super high at 35. Performance year to date, you're up 2.85%. Over 1 year period, you're down 3.8%. Now, its 52-week high is $612, so you're 23% below that. Your 52-week low is 406. You're 15% above that. I, myself, when it got down to this 458, I should have bought more. I didn't. I just should have bought it. But I didn't. I'm waiting for it to get back down there. I may get stung again. If they announce a membership increase, I may get killed. Macy's is also one of the ones that I trade in retail. And this is one that I say under 20, you want to grab it. Over 20, you probably want to sell it. It's been using this 200-day, which is at 1975, as a bouncing point for the last couple of months. November, December, it bounced up. $20.56 was the buy in the algorithm here, December 27th. You're still in this, but you have this button hook. And that button hook, the big candle was from January 18th, and your high was 23.72. That is a 10% increase from 20.56 up to 23. You got your 10%. Don't be greedy. That MACD is crossing down. Your next catalyst for Macy's, February 17th, is the earnings. So let me go down the core portfolio. I really don't have a lot of core portfolio retail, but core portfolio, yeah, I don't have a lot of retail. XLY is one that you could get into. This is consumer discretionary. This is one that I personally hold. I don't sell it based on the algorithm. But if you wanted to get in, there was a good buy down here at 129. It's at 135. You'll get a chance to buy it at 130. Your gap has been filled. So there's nothing in here that tells me that it's, crazy. Another retail one that I like that James wanted me to look at, and I'll look at it again. I think I looked at it yesterday. Walmart. Walmart, I think you have a chance to buy it here at 138. This is a stock that just came off a great run. Up at 153 back in November. They paid their dividend, and ever since then, it's just kind of fallen down. You're below the 200-day right now. Are you upset if you buy it at 138 right now? I don't think so. If we go over to Walmart here, even if we're heading into a recession, Walmart is not a bad place to be. They are the place that everyone goes to buy their groceries. I personally go there to buy my groceries. Year to date, you're down 2%. 1 year, you're down 2%. Your dividend is 1.61%. So the 52-week high is 160. You're 13% below that. Your 52-week low is 117. You're 18% above that. The reason why I say 138 isn't a bad price, you're right in the middle here. There's nothing that really tells me that this one's going to shoot up, going to shoot down. I hold this. I think I have $10, $15, $20,000 worth of this, and I've held it for quite a while, probably 30, 20 years. I just hold it. I don't, this is not one that I typically trade. I hold it in a retirement account. It's safe. It sits there. I shop there. Number one rule of my investment is if you shop there, if you use the service, then actually buy the stock. I mean, that's it. Just buy the stock. And by the way, update on GNS. It is back to 425 where I bought it at. So Mike played it the best. Mike, I think, bought it 420, sold it 5. I sold it about 490 or so. I made my dollars. I'm perfectly happy with what I did. But don't be greedy like me. There was no YOLO in that one. Once we saw the open and it start to fall, it lost its super confirmation. So just make sure you get out. But Walmart, I like it. I like it a lot. Solar stocks were way down. So one that I like is Solar Edge. And we do have Solar Edge is SEDG. I always miss that one. This one we are actually still in at 293. It's at 287. But if you didn't notice, it kind of got up here to 328. So you had your 10%. If you didn't take your 10% and got greedy, you're getting hit now. I think you got this gap down here to 254. I think you're going to use the 200-day as a support level, 272. If I want to trade it again, I'm going to take a look at it. But right now, solar stocks are just too much. I personally don't own Solar Edge. I trade Solar Edge. But the one that I do own is QCLN. And QCLN is the NASDAQ, it's First Trust NASDAQ Clean Energy. It holds a bunch of these solar stocks. Now, on this one, if you're trading this one, I would get out. And I would get out because the buy-in on the algorithm is $47. You have an RSI at 50. You have the MACD crossing down. You also have a softening consumer. That's why all of these solar stocks went down. Sunrun went down yesterday. The symbol is RUN. And it went down because people, if the consumer's weak and the consumer's not spending in discretionary income, like shopping and stuff, they ain't going to spend on solar. And so that's the fear. And that's why you're seeing a lot of these solar stocks kind of move down. KMI, Kinder Morgan, was the best performing stock yesterday. Oil is up over 80. This one, they talked about some liquid natural gas as well. You had your earnings. It's up at 18. The algorithm has you buy in at 1787. You've probably gotten your 10% because it was up at 19. Don't be greedy. Your ex-dividend date is coming up on January 30th. And I don't think it has a great dividend, but it has a good dividend. It's not something to shake your hat at. Great dividend, 5.92%. Year to date, you're up 3.71. You're only 7% off your 52-week high at 2020, and you're at 1871. So it's a little strong to get into it now, but the earnings were good, 31 cents per share. Previous quarter was 25 cents per share. So you've got good earnings. You've got a catalyst of a really good dividend being paid. Might be off for another run. But I wanted to bring that one up. BG. Is that BG? No. BA. Boeing. I wanted to look at Boeing. I just have it. I have bad eyes. Their earnings are coming up next week, January 24th. This is one that has been on a legendary run. How much of their earnings are priced in? That's the real question, because you've got this one down here at 129 in October. You're at 206. If you bought in at 129, you've almost doubled your money. And that's just since October in a stock that is a bellwether. All of the airlines reported record quarters. United up way. I mean, UAL. Let's look at their stock after earnings. It's kind of moved a little bit down, but look at going into earnings. Look at that period. 6.57% on that candle alone on their earnings candle. Let's look at Delta Airlines. Delta Airlines, great quarter. They're just getting pulled back because, again, people are getting scared of this recession. $1.48 per share. You had this gap here. It's back down at 38. I think this is a $40 stock. But Boeing, with their earnings coming up, I don't know how much of this is actually baked in. The problem that I have with Boeing is that you've got this gap here at 168. That could be where it pulls back to, but you've got such big volume shelves here at 190, and you've got a big volume shelf here at 280. For it to pull back down here, it would have to be a major move. The MACD is crossing down. Make no mistake, I don't think that you buy into this one. It's just going to be one to watch, next week. The golden cross happened back here on November 15th. The 50-day crossed up on the 200. So I want to watch that one. Waste management. Again, I'm going over charts that are just boring ass companies, but they present an opportunity. Waste management here, look at how far it slid. Its earnings are coming up here on January 31st. If we go over here, Waste management, the symbol, by the way, is WM. Their PE is 27, super expensive. Dividend of 1.73. Year to date, you're down 4%. Over a 1 year period, you're down 3%. You're only 8% above your 52-week high of 138. Your 52-week low of 138. Your 52-week high of 175, you're 14% below. Now, you have a downgrade from UBS with a $165 price target. You have an initiated by Citigroup with a $183 price target. You have Stifel with a buy to hold 171. You're trading at 149. 149 is where you're at today. Do not buy it today. This is in a downward just slide. The MACD is crossing down. You're on the lower end of the Bollinger Band, but their earnings are coming up January 31st. If you want to read what to expect from earnings, I'm sure you can find it in here in one of these articles. Reasons to retain waste management in your portfolio from Zacks. Motley Fool, one of the smartest dividend stocks to buy with $1,000. The dividend is 1.73. I mean, listen to the monkeys if you want, but I think this is one that you absolutely could hold for quite a while. We'll take a look at the weekly stock. And when you get worried about those daily movements and things, you still don't have confirmation here on the weekly. But when you're worried about this, were you worried in March of 2020 when you bought this at 91 and you're at 150 right now? Were you worried when you bought it at 113 in February 2021? Were you worried when you bought it at 140 and it soared up here to 160, 170, up, the 190 was the 52-week high. It's just had a run. It's pulling back. It's got this ascending wedge. It's broken down. Now, I would say the support level here, if earnings are bad, I think you're pulling down to this 138 to 140 level. And I think that would be where I would say buy it. The issue you're going to have to look at is that PE. 27 is super expensive for basically an industrial company. Go over to the homepage and look at the other industrial companies in the S&P 500, and you can see it's super, super expensive. Netflix. If you weren't watching me, if you don't have the alerts on YouTube, I was on live trying to trade Netflix last night. And if you listen back to the show yesterday, I said, hey, let's buy it at close. And I think the news is going to be decent, and the algos are going to trade this one up to 10%. Well, I was in the middle of making jokes, I think, with somebody, and I said, oh, God, hold on, let me look at this. and I didn't get my order in at 3:15. And then all of a sudden, you can look it back. I think it's 2 minutes in on the Netflix, the live from yesterday. Yesterday afternoon, yesterday morning, I said this. So if you want to look back, just look at the transcript on YouTube. You can look up Netflix and listen to me. I went back and listened to it. I said, yeah, I'll buy it at the end of the day. And then when the earnings are released, the problem was the earnings were released at like 4 o'clock and 30 seconds. So I didn't have time to actually put in the order, but it went from 3:15 up to 3:45, 3:50. It is right now trading at 3:40. It is a $350 stock easily. I would say you're probably a $400 stock by the end of the year. You've got this gap that starts right here at about 388. That is the next gap to cover because it's covered this gap up to 349. Well, it should cover it probably today at 349. I don't think that there's any problem holding this. Here's what you have to know. There's three things that Netflix is focused on. First, password crackdown. They've said people will not be happy with our password interference. For every one paid customer, they have 5 other people that are sharing. So a 20% increase in revenue is just getting one of those 5 people to pay. 40% increase, or I'm sorry, 50% increase in revenue, getting 2 or 3 of the people to do it. So again, you have a great opportunity to increase their revenue there. The other increase in revenue is the ad tier. They're saying that it's going gangbusters. Now, what you have to worry about is in a recession, ads typically go down. So they launched at a time where it's probably a little bit low. It has great opportunity. The third thing that they're looking at is subgrowth. Well, what do you have? A lower priced ad tier and a password crackdown to try and get more subscribers. Boom. It's a triple play. I think there's a $400 stock. Do you buy it here? Not into this strength. I would not buy it into this strength. See that button hook right there? I think you've got this way above that 9-day. I would not buy into this strength. I would probably wait till this comes back down to about the 310 to 320 level. I've missed this on the way up. This was a great quarter. And Netflix last night, by the way, on the earnings call, they said churn will increase as we roll out paid sharing, but paid sharing will boost membership long term. So we went into GNS, BTG. Is that one that I looked at? Oh, there was one person on the live on YouTube, and I'll get to you guys on YouTube after this. But there was one person that brought up BTG. It's great looking stock, great chart, fantastic chart, up at 412 today. The algorithm had you buying in at 353. Now we had two scans that I don't think that you'd be upset in buying right here. The first one is a secondary cross-up, PXD. I don't think that you're upset buying it at 238. I think you could get it a little bit lower because it's touching that 9-day, but it's currently on a run. It's a secondary cross-up. 228 was the actual buy on January 5th. I don't think you'd be upset buying and holding this one. This one has a great dividend. This is an energy company. It's oil. Oil's at $80, 10%, 10.93% dividend. 1 year, you're up 20%. Performance year to date, just 20 days in, you're up 4.37%. You are 13% above below your 52-week high of 274. You are 32% above your 52-week low of 178. There's your range, 178 to 274. Do I think that oil's going back down to $20? No. Do I think that it's going to $120? I think it's more likely to go to $100 than it is to go down to $40. So, but you just don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, PXD is one. One that I bought yesterday, SQQQ. The reason I bought it, and I timed it a little bit wrong, but SQQQ is a triple levered ETF that is against the NASDAQ. I bought it at 48.20. Right now it's trading at 47.51. The NASDAQ TQQQ is the one that's up. It's up 2.5% today. It is below 20. I say below 20, you buy it. Over 20, you sell it. And I always say that, and I probably shouldn't have bought SQQQ, but I'm holding this one. It's a super small buy in my Webull account. I think it's like $100, $200, somewhere in that neighborhood. So it's not an enormous buy, but I do think that those candles in SQQQ showed me that over the next couple of days, we could touch the 200-day at about $51. So I bought it at 48 thinking, okay, I can make a cool 7, 8, 9, 10%. I don't know that it's going up there. I mean, it's got some support level down here at about 43. So it could go down to 43. But at some point in time this year, it's probably going back up to 50. You're not going to have a bull run of the NASDAQ. Right now, Netflix is up 7%. Alphabet is up 4%. We need to talk about Google. We need to talk about how Google is laying off 10,000 employees, how Google is holding out some people's bonuses, and all of this causing Google to bounce. I said, get Google here under 90, and you're at $98. I still think $98 for Google over a long term, you're fine. You're buying into strength here on a 4-hour candle. But you know what? If you go to a weekly candle, are you buying into strength or are you buying into weakness? Because here's the weekly candle, and you got that button hook right there, that fish hook. And so you're buying into probably a long-term hold that's not bad. The last time we saw a button hook like this was COVID in this stock. You can say this was a button hook, but it's really just a kind of flattening. You're seeing this candle. This week's candle is, it opened at 92. Right now it's at 98. So it's a 5.68% candle on the weekly candle, and it hasn't closed yet. So does it hit 100? I think 100 is going to pose a bit of a problem for it to get over. But there's your look at this week. If you have, you know what? I should go over some of the actual scans that he did. TBLA. We talked about TBLA. I actually don't think I talked about this one. This one came up on a scan yesterday, Thursday. And I said, this was interesting because it is a ARC stock. It came up on ARC stock, but it's been on a run, and it's been on a crazy run. And yesterday, it was a secondary cross up at $2.85 is where you got in on December 29th, but it's above that 200-day, and it's moving pretty well. And when you look at a long-term chart of this one, it looks like it could move back up here to the 457, to this shelf right here. When you move back this lever to about March of 2022, you still have people holding on above here. So you've got a pretty good level. And is this a head and shoulders kind of thing? Maybe. You could be looking at kind of, flattening out here. Head, shoulder, inverse head and shoulders. But TBLA we brought up. Netflix we obviously looked at. SQQQ we talked about. TQQQ we talked about. Meta was one that is just on a legendary run. I mean, just a legendary run. $95 back here on November 7th. If you got in at $95, you're trading at $137 today. You got out with a 22% gate, but it got you right back in at 118. Should have seen that 118. But you do have this gap down here, and I'm waiting for this gap to be filled at 121. When that comes back down to 121, you're over the 200-day right now. The 50-day is getting ready to cross up. If that golden cross happens in the next couple of days and you've got earnings coming up February 1st, oh my God, this one could take off. We talked about Google. We're going to talk about Amazon. I've talked about Amazon on the YouTube Live earlier. I'm a big believer in Amazon. I just think they have some problems to go through. But long term, if we look at Amazon long term, right now it's probably just got its button hook here on the weekly. See that button hook? Last time we saw this button hook was at 118, shot up to 140. So, you don't even see, COVID you barely see in this stock. But it went up. Today's levels you were trading at back in 2019. Has Amazon done a lot better from 2019 to today? I would say yes. So, but it is super, super expensive. Make no mistake. That PE is at 86. So does it have more room to go down? Absolutely, it could go down. If you pull back this to the last time it was trading here, October 2019, if you pull that back, there's not much support here. I mean, the support is up above, but if you pull this back to the last time it kind of popped up, which was October 2017, you still have a bunch of people holding at this level. This is where the most people are holding. So there's also a hell of a lot of people holding up here at 156. So at some point it's coming back up there. We talked about XLE, how energy I still think is the play for this period. You got in XLE at 87.34 on January 6th. You still have confirmation. You're still running. I don't see any reason to get out of any energy stock at this point. XLP had a cross up earlier in the week. This is the consumer staples. This is Walmart. This is Target. It had a cross up here at 74.61. You're at 71.63 today. Unfortunately, it got you right out right afterwards. And it got you out with a slight loss. Hopefully you got out. But like I said, it was on the lower end of the Bollinger Band. I didn't see a super strong cross up. But right now, if you wanted to buy XLP, God, I think you've got an opportunity here at 71. It's not horrible, but XLP is not one of my mainstays. We talked about SPY. Procter & Gamble went over. Moderna, big pump on Moderna. And it's down down to below 190. It's at 189. This one pumped all the way up to $207 on January 18th. I think that you're coming back down here to 170. This is a pump stock. We talked about JP Morgan this week. This is a stock. Financials, I think, have had their day in the dumpsters. I think you're looking at probably these banks, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs. We talked about as well. Goldman Sachs was one. I said under 300, you buy it all day long. Over 300, I think you sell it at some point. I think you're going to go down to 342 on this one and touch that 200-day. The last trade in the algorithm got you out with a 1% gain. But you're coming off this $304 buy right here and a 20% gain. But you've got all the way up here 380, 390 almost. Freeport McMoRan, FCX. We talked about this one. This one has just been on a really good run. $38 on January 5th. And you're at 44. You got that kind of button hook happening, but you're not below that 21-day. The Bollinger Bands are syncing up. I think it could move higher on this one. Cleveland Cliffs is always a favorite of mine. Anything under 20, I say buy. Anything over 20, I think you sell it. This one has been on just a legendary run. 16.18 on December 22nd was the buy. And you're at $20.64. Their earnings are coming up on February 13th. I will keep an eye on this one. And the reason I will is because this pop right here is because they announced, hey, we've cut our costs and we're increasing our prices because the demand has gone up. Boom. Business is great. So Cleveland Cliffs is a great one to actually own. So there you go. There's the recap. Half-hour episode for you. If you have any questions, hit me up. If you made it this far, make sure you hit 5 stars in the in Spotify. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, I think the logo looks like crap on Apple Podcasts. I don't know what to do about it, but I think it looks bad. But if you're on Apple Podcasts, hit the 5 stars and just say something. Say, hey, nice job, Gary. Or you know what? Say, take your shirt off, Gary. Or take a hit of that vape, Gary. Be a bro. Just tell me be a bro. Shout on Apple Podcasts. What you do to review an Apple Podcast is you have to go into your library, and then you have to find my show in the library, and then you have to scroll down. It's a little bit hard to leave stuff in Apple Podcasts for some reason, but if you follow the show, I think that's good enough. If you want to see me on YouTube and you want to see the charts, go onto YouTube. Hit the notification button because every now and then I will go live. Last night for the Netflix trading. So if you haven't joined the private Facebook group, join it. If you haven't signed up for TrendSpider and you do a lot of trading, I don't know why you're staying away from TrendSpider. I mean, I just scratched the surface with TrendSpider. Wait until I do the overview with the instructor on TrendSpider, because you guys will see it's super, super powerful tool. And I'm saving you 25% with the code DSP25. I will determine who I'm sponsored by after this. I will the podcast on Spotify was sponsored by State Farm. I think in Mexico it's sponsored by Melly. Great stock, and I've got my insurance through State Farm. So if you have any questions, hit me up. Take care, guys. Have a great weekend. Share, export song to disk. I think I lost a lot of YouTube viewers as I was just rambling on. Did this fucker go back up to 5 GNS? I don't think GNS went up, did it? No. GNS got that pump right before. There. Got the pump right before, and then it says it's at $5 here, though. I got to restart Active Trader Pro. Hold on one second. I'm going to restart Active Trader Pro. For some reason, Active Trader Pro, when the market opens, it doesn't like it. So, and no, I'm not taking my shirt off. RNW. Are they traded? Let me see. RNW. I'll take a look at them. Let's take a look at RNW for Aiden. Aiden, as a hippie, I like any solar company. I drive a Tesla. I don't have solar panels on my roof, and the reason I don't have solar panels on my roof is because Georgia's not very solar friendly. Georgia Power specifically is not very solar friendly. So, for instance, I can get solar panels on my roof and charge a battery and run off the battery during the day and night, but I don't use a lot of electricity. That's the other thing is I think my top electric bill in the summer, July, is I think around $140, $150. My average electric bill is somewhere near the neighborhood of $60. I just don't use a lot of electricity. And so it would be a loss for me to put it up on my house. And part of that reason is because Georgia Power, at least the last time I looked at it, I think it's changed, but they don't pay you for your excess solar. And so I'd have to get a battery system in here to actually use my excess solar. And you know what's up, boys? Boyle. Boyle's way up. Wow, and GNUS. Somebody asked me yesterday, should I sell Boyle at 10? I said KOLD has all the run. Boyle's up 5%. KOLD has the support, but here I'll show you. If you look at the long term, let me look at RNW for Aiden. RNW, from a chart perspective, I think you're seeing it's using the 200-day as its resistance level, not as a support level, as a resistance level. You lost 3 cents over here. From a chart perspective, that $5.50 run to $6.15. I think that 10% should be taken. This high up here at 658, you could have gotten your 20%. So I think that's a great run. But it's clear that you're using this 200-day. Look at it. Hits the 200-day, bounces down. Hits the 200-day, kind of stays up there, bounces down. Hits and then goes back above the 200-day, bounces way down. Hits the 200-day, kind of flounders around it, back down. Hits the 200-day, I can guarantee it's going to be a $5 stock again. So at $6.15, it's going to be a $5 stock. But let's look at RNW here. And I typically don't like investing in foreign companies. And the reason I don't like investing in foreign companies is just because some of there's some crazy, like China companies. You can't trust the financials out of China. They're kind of just thrown out there. But here, let me go back. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to go to Active Trader Pro because I'm going to try uploading this. I'm going to quit my GarageBand. Save. New episode. I want to upload the episode because I've got to get going. I got to shower and stuff. Upload. I'm going to pick a nice transition. Gosling's good, I think. What's the in the back room? I like that one. That fits the mood for today. We'll insert an ad. And then I'm going to go back to here. Okay. I'm uploading that. So RNW, it ain't making money. Forward PE is 36. So they're expecting to make money. Earnings per share, 366% this year is expected. The book value is $3.54. So performance year to date, you're up 10%. 1 year, you're down 3.97%. Your 52-week high is 897. Your 52-week low is 502. You got a double bottom here. I would use that $5 as your support level. If you go down below $5, I think you sell if you buy anything up here. But Aiden, that's kind of what I think about RNW. I don't have a lot of stuff to say about it, but it says it's out of the United Kingdom, not India. So, ARDX is cruising. ARDX 307. This is one of your Tom stocks, I think. Let's go back over to, you guys seem to like the day trade. Boyle's losing it again. Wow. ARDX is flying. Is this a Tom stock? I am not vaping, VRO. I am not vaping. VRO, you missed the day trading, man. We had some exciting day trading going on. My SQQQ is down. Oh, by the way, if you're in here, hit the thumbs up button and make sure you subscribe. I need to hit a bunch of subscribers. So just hit the freaking subscribe button, dude. It doesn't take that much. I sold Baba. I sold Baba at 90. I bought Baba at like 180. I don't think Baba's a bad trade here at 120. I don't think it's horrible. Okay, dudes, I'm going to be right back. I hear a dog. GNS is back up to $4. Oof. Oh, let's see. Mike, I need to, when you guys cursing stuff in here, I've got a pretty tight control over it. Okay. Is ADRX, yeah. It's a great trade. Great trade. Great trade if you didn't buy up here at 330. It's a great trade if you bought here at 274. Bad trade if you bought here just, 2 days ago at 330. I mean, let's look at a 5-day of this one. Yeah. Great trade though. Okay. Save episode. Did I miss anything? I'm looking. Oh, do I like defense stocks? Hold on, I'll go. So, yeah, I honestly, Zephan was one of the first ones to join me on YouTube Live, and I don't know how the fuck that guy gets up early in the morning. Defense stocks. So NOC, here, I'm going to bring you back to Safari. NOC. Here's my thoughts on defense stocks. If I look at a weekly on this one, you're not even going to see that drop. Well, you are going to see it. Back here in 2021, it went under the 200-day, and you spent almost all of 2020 under the 200-day. The 50. Then you spent all of 2021 and 2022 above the 50-day. Now you're below the 50-day. So at some point, you're going above that 50-day, but you don't know where it's going to go. Defense is based on, you're right, Mike, in my mind, and I know a bunch of people who work for Raytheon and other defense companies, and it is based on government overspending. If I were on the, and remember what defense spending is for this country. It's not to defend this country. Defense spending for this country is meant to keep the wars over there. We don't defend our country. We keep the wars over in other areas. We disrupt things so that it doesn't come here. So I don't know that I'm 100%, hey, let's get into defense spending. I love the technology that comes out of it. I mean, the drones that I fly, all the technology came out of that. Even though the leading drone company, DJI, is Chinese. I just don't. I don't know the space enough. When you look at NOC from a perspective here, the PE is 12. The forward PE is 19. I mean, that's a big forward PE. So they're expecting a reduction in spending. Performance year to date, you're down 20% year to date. Last year, you were up 10%. Goldman just downgraded them, 375. You're at trading at 443. So, James, I read that as a $3.4 million portfolio as a 22-year-old. I was like, damn, I need to listen to James. I just don't. I honestly, I can't disrespect somebody who got in down here in February 2021 at 303 and rode it up to 500, because this was a time when SPY I mean, if you look at SPY from 2021 and we go to a weekly, here's SPY from 2021 to, just earlier this year. I mean, you're down. You're down or even. So NOC made money. It historically has made money. But as this country goes more into debt, there's three places we spend money. Medicare, Social Security, and defense. And those are the three largest expenses. Social Security and Medicare, there ain't no freaking way a politician wants to cut those. There is no way a politician wants to cut those. The only reason defense spending stays up is because senators and House Republicans say, well, that's made in my district, and we can't cut that. Do they have a strong case nationally for defense spending? No. It's the flyover states where we make shit. They just don't want to cut spending. That's the only reason. And they'll scare the shit out of you cutting defense spending. Those people that have defense spending in their state or their district, they'll try and say, we're less safe. Bullshit. And the Marjorie Taylor Greens and the all of the MAGA folks that say we shouldn't be spending in Ukraine, well, then cut the defense spending. Just cut it. Don't spend it. If we're not sending it over to Ukraine, then just don't spend it because we don't need it. It's not like we have a war over here. Not like, anybody's invading us. So why not cut it? Oh, because we're less safe? Probably not. Yeah, exactly, Mike. And it's no different in the corporate world. I ran marketing for cable companies, Time Warner and stuff like that. And I can tell you, here's a great story, a perfect story. So I ran marketing for Northeast Florida. And marketing pretty much had a big hand in where do we build out? Where do we build out our plant? Because where can we get the most customers? And so at the end of the year, we had $2 million, $3 million in our construction budget because the construction guys had just killed it and basically paid contractors and negotiated low costs for contractors. And I want to say, it was a couple $1 million. And so around November, we said, well, where can we build? And I didn't have an answer because there was a lot of building that was going on, but it wasn't done yet. I couldn't get, contracts with some of the housing construction folks to build into new stuff. So I said, the only place we can build are in these older places. It's not going to bring us a lot of customers because it was lower cost housing. B, it was half mile driveways. Sometimes, half mile between houses. So we either had to put stuff underground or string it from a pole. And underground was much more expensive, but I had that money in my budget. Wasn't like I wasn't going to spend it. So wasn't ever going to return a profit within the next 4 or 5 years, which was typically our construction stuff. Wasn't going to bring in a profit. So, I mean, it's 100% right. At the end of the quarter, at the end of the year, you just spend a shit ton of money just to spend it. Yes, Christian, I completely agree with you that we send money to Ukraine and they buy the tech. In fact, we send the tech more than we send money. So I can't disagree with it. I just, there's two things. A, I think defense spending gets cut. I think that's just a fact of life. I think we just spend too much money, and I think they could cut it. It's just not relevant. I think the other thing is, as a hippie, I just don't want to. I mean, I don't care. I mean, there's only one thing that military does, protects us. And I'm a big fan of the military, folks, but it's kind of like guns. Everybody should have you have a right to own your gun. It's in the Constitution. I would never take a gun away from a law-abiding citizen or somebody who isn't using it for any nefarious purposes. But there's only one reason to have a gun, and that's to kill people or hurt people or most likely kill people. And I don't care if they're a good person or a bad person. It's to kill somebody. So I'm just not a big fan. But that doesn't mean that I'm, taking away your Second Amendment rights. And I don't think anybody's taking away anybody's Second Amendment rights. I think a lot of people get on the pole, they're taking away our guns. They're not. Nobody's taking away anybody's guns. Nobody's taking that shit down. By the way, URTY, which is an Ultra Pro against the Russell 2000, up 2.4%. But it's got that button hook. I don't know. UMDD, Ultra Pro Mid Cap. This is an Ultra Pro Mid Cap, up 2.3%. TQQQ, up 3%. Let's look at our core portfolio. Oh, I got to name the episode and stuff. Okay, what am I going to name this? Friday recap. Bought, traded GNC for a nice 20% profit. Did I make 20%? Let me see. I think I did. Let me see what I bought and sold at. GNS, I sold it $4.90. So let's see. 90. I bought it for $4.25. So that is 65 cents. What's 65 divided by 480?
The answer is approximately
13%. 13%. Market update 1/20/2023. Okay. I'm going to change you over to Active Trader Pro. So you have something a little more exciting to look at. Maybe the fall of GNS. We'll let you look at the fall of GNS. Whoo! As much as you had confirmation there, look at how much you have there. And yeah, I wasn't a pole climber. Full disclosure, I was not a pole climber. So I got 15 people watching. I hope. How many thumbs up did I get today, by the way? Anybody know? Because I think we had about 30 people in here at one point. Notes. And I am going to go to Anchor. Somebody take a look at the thumbs up. I think I have 15 people in here now. But I just watch on my phone every now and then. And for some reason, it doesn't tell me. 16 BS, man. Nobody's hitting that thumbs up. Okay. See, if I don't mention it, nobody does it. Okay. And notes. Uh, 11. That's crazy. Did you ever hear that? GNS. Netflix, SQQQ. Okay. Sponsored by Visible. Use code DSP. Notes. We're going to bold italics. There we go. And then we're going to do Netflix, GNS. We're going to copy this. Copy. And we're going to publish this. Larry! Larry! Love you, Larry. Long time. Today was good, man. Hopefully people made some money today. Because I know I did. And I'm sure my portfolio is way up. I'm sure my Webull portfolio, though, is probably not. My Webull portfolio is probably getting hit pretty hard. GNS. Wow. GNS is still up. That's the crazy part. Okay, we'll tweet that. And then we'll tweet another one. And we'll just do the ETFs. I should have this on a note. But we're going to put SPY. We're going to put TQQQ. We're going to put SQQQ. We're going to put QQQ. Let me see. We're going to put this over here. Bear with me 2 seconds and I will be right back to answering questions. Lyft is up, or LYT. What the hell is LYT doing? Google, AMZN, Apple, NVIDIA is up. Mara is down. XPEV, Ally Financial, FXI, CS, BAC, let's put in, oh man, City, EEM, ERIC, put in AMC. Okay. I'm going to do 2 tweets. That's it. 2 tweets. We're going to close that. I have a notification on. What's this? Oh, that's on my Virgin cruise I followed. Stephanie Link liked my tweet. I thought that was pretty neat. I like her. I like her a lot. Okay. We're starting to get back to some of the listenership that I had. Wow, 337. Safari view. Okay. Anything that I need to go over before? I completely agree with you, Christian. It's kind of like me investing in oil. I hate oil. Oil didn't necessarily kill anybody, but oil and coal, I'm not a big fan of, but I'll still trade it. My parents will not. My parents will not trade oil and gas. My dad bought Exxon at 30, 35, somewhere around there, and got just couldn't sleep. There's two rules I have. Trade the stocks that you stocks in companies that you use or own, meaning like Apple for me. And the second is if you lose sleep, don't do it. And he lost sleep one night and said, I can't do it. And wound up getting out of Apple, or I'm sorry, not Apple, Exxon. And it was like $35. Where's Exxon today? I think it's 113, 110, somewhere around that neighborhood. 111. He would have tripled his money. More than tripled his money. So almost 4 times his money. But, again, you got to sleep at night. You just got to sleep at night. So those are I want to teach some folks how to trade stocks. And that was the one thing that I taught them. Okay, 10:41. I got to make a lunch appointment at 11:30. I got to take the dogs for a walk, and I got to shower because I haven't showered. If I get on later today, put your notifications on because I may trade. I'm in a trading mood, and that GNS, it's got 124 million shares traded so far. Its 10-day volume is typically 29 million. So far today, it's traded 124 million. There's another one. Here, I'm looking at Active Trader Pro. There's another one that I just saw that was on here that was doing crazy. LYT. This LYT, it's trading 10,000 shares in a lot. This one is going crazy, and I don't know why. It's a micro cap. A 10-day volume is 142,000. They've been halted several times already, but it's up 113% today. So hit your notifications because I may be trading this one later. See you guys. If I don't talk to you, have a great weekend. And if you guys have any questions, hit me up. If you're in on TrendSpider and you want access to those groups, those watch lists, just let me know. I'm going to do more. So thanks, Dawson. I'll talk to you guys later.